Player 2 has joined the game.
Respite?
Yeah. What's the plan?
There's not a lot of news this week. We have papers with rundowns, but there's not a lot of news. I want to do something fun since I think this segment wouldn't be as long as it normally would. We're going to play video game Would You Rather. And I must shout out Kotaku for this. They don't do, outside of Jason Schreier, they don't do much right. But who came up with this? This was Gita Jackson. Shout out to you. I don't know if you came up with this or you just got it from somebody else. But we're going to play a video game Would You Rather. And it's just, would you rather this or would you rather that? Because, again, is this not the most boring update you've ever seen as far as news goes? If you just look at that.
Nah, there's not much there.
It's pretty boring. So,
but stick around because we'll make it fun somehow.
We will. And there's always a back box challenge. Right, Matt? Sean.
Yes.
This really applies to you. Would you rather watch Eris... Spoilers. It's 20 years old at this point. Would you rather watch Aerith die in Final Fantasy VII once per day, every day, or truly believe you can bring her back? Is that in the game that you think you can resurrect her or something?
I don't think that's part of the story, but I think it was just one of those things where at the time it seemed so unheard of that they would kill off a main character to where you're like, okay, she's obviously going to come back at some point.
Especially wasn't like in
and
the
she
middle
just
of the story?
If that.
Okay.
It's probably less.
Wow.
It's probably around halfway through
Okay.
the story, but maybe earlier.
Yeah.
You go through a majority of the game without her, I'm pretty sure.
This means nothing to me because I still have never... I've seen that in cutscenes, but I didn't play through it at the time. I haven't actually played through it and got invested in Aerith or anything like that. So this doesn't really mean anything to me. Does it mean anything to you?
I would say, I never really... I think it was probably spoiled for me before I finally played that she died and she wasn't coming back. But at the same time, it doesn't really... it's a sad part of the game, but at the same time, it doesn't really... I almost just applaud and commend Square Enix and Final Fantasy for doing it, for killing off a main character and not bringing them back. Like, stick to it. I kind of like that they did it. I almost feel like it would have been cheapened if she did come back. So I'm fine with the fact that she dies and she doesn't come back. So I guess my answer would be I'd rather watch her die. I don't know what that means my answer would be, but I guess I just never really got my hopes up to begin with that she was coming back. Partially because it was probably spoiled and partially because I was fine with the fact that she wasn't. So, I don't know. It's sad seeing her die. That's definitely a emotional part,
moment. Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right, this is a fun one. Would you rather only be able to play the underwater level in games or never be able to beat the underwater levels in games? I think I'd rather
just never be able to beat him.
But then if you can't beat him, you can't beat the game.
But if all you can play is the water level, you're also not going to beat the game.
I'd rather just start the game over every time.
Right. I'd rather play up until the water level and then start over and then play like...
Again, there's no good water levels.
No. There's some that are...
I will say, like the Twilight Princess Water Temple, I loved that. I love every dungeon. I still say to this day, especially because that was probably the weakest part of Breath of the Wild, the dungeons in Twilight Princess are probably my favorite that I've ever played.
They
were awesome.
Yeah, there's no good... I don't care. It's almost like no matter how good you make a water level in a game, I will never look forward to it.
No.
Because they've just... Between NES Ninja Turtles and Earthworm Jim and the Water Temple and every other Water Temple that's ever been in a Zelda game, Metal Gear Solid with... Metal Gear Solid 2.
Because that's an escort mission in a water level.
Yeah, like, there's never... At best, I think a water level can be not frustrating. And that's about as good as a water level or water portion of a game can be. So yeah, the way it's worded, I guess I'd rather never be able to beat them than be stuck only playing them.
I think
if that's
you're right,
all I
'cause
could
then
ever
I
play,
wouldn't-
I would just probably not play video games.
Yeah, I would quit video games. If I had to play Meridia over and over and over.
Oh,
If
God,
that was
that's
all
another
Super
one.
Metroid was Meridia, or if Metal Gear Solid 2, as awesome as that game is, if all I could do was that stupid underwater escort mission, I don't even care that Emma died. Screw Emma. She was annoying. I don't even care.
Yeah, she sucks.
I think we agree there. I don't even know if this one's any fun, but I'll say it. Would you rather work at your favorite studio, but only during crunch, or have a best-selling game idea that no one will ever make?
I say the former.
You'd rather work at the studio?
I think so.
So you're the only time you are only working there when you're working
Right.
80 to 90 hour weeks. And your bosses are beating you down saying, get this done. We got a deadline, blah, blah, blah. I think I'd rather have the idea that nobody would make, because at least in my head, like with that project.
The rest of my life is still fine.
With the project we were talking about earlier, like even if we don't go through with it, I can see it I see the whole thing in my mind, which is really messed up.
Right.
But I see that, I'm like, but that is all, like you can create so much stuff in your mind. I think I would rather have the idea in my head.
Yeah, that's true. You talked me into it.
Speaking of talking, would you rather, I think this one's easy, but I want you to impersonate for me. Would you rather talk like Duke Nukem, hail to the king, baby, or laugh like Titus?
Oh, who wouldn't want to talk like Duke Nukem?
I don't even know why this is on
And who
here.
would
It's
want
like,
to laugh like Titus?
do the laugh.
Ha 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 ha!
I want to punch you in your face. Okay.
It's so. I mean, it's not like that's a big part of the game. It's one part, but it's just so awkward.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum. I could talk like this for the rest of the podcast. Actually, it kind of hurts my throat. But I think if this is just the way you talked, it wouldn't hurt your throat. Because it's just the way you are. You know what I mean? Kick ass and chew bubble gum and poop down your neck.
I'll rip
That
your head
hurts.
off and down your neck.
That hurts.
Yeah, I'd rather talk like Duke Nukem.
That's not even I don't even know why that's in there. It's not even.
That's something I would want to do compared to something I wouldn't want to do. So
Right.
that's easy to me.
This one is relevant based on our conversation earlier. Would you rather wake up every day to Navi saying, "Hey, listen," or hear Genji, and I don't play Overwatch, but hear Genji say, "I need healing" once every 10 minutes? I can't.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that
I would
means.
rather do anything except hear Navi ever again. I don't ever want to hear Navi. I want to play through Ocarina again, but
listen.
I want to just. I wish there was an option to just mute her.
Watch out.
Hey, listen. This next one pisses me off. Would you rather, this really pisses me off, play Superman 64
The other one.
or watch Man of Steel? Screw you, Kotaku. That is a really good movie, verging on great movie. I stand by
And
that.
even
to
if
this
it's
day.
only a so-so movie,
It's not the worst game of all time.
exactly. Yeah, that's stupid.
Man of Steel is a solid 8.5 to an 8.75 out of 10.
I don't know if I'd go that.
Superman is a solid 0.5
It's a
out
solid
of 10.
2.
Like,
Deuce.
Man of it's a poop. Yeah, the poop. Big boss. I don't like that. Like, if it was Watch Suicide Squad, then it might be a debate. Man of Steel is such a good movie.
It's a 7.5 to 8, I would say.
What would you say Batman Superman is? How far ahead of Batman vs. Superman? Because I agree it's better than Batman vs. Superman. How far ahead of Batman vs. Superman would you put it? I say Batman, to me,
I'd say Batman vs.
Superman's
Superman
about
is
a
more
7.
in a 7 range.
I think it's a 7, and this is an 8.5.
Man of Steel is like high 7 to low 8.
And I would say Wonder Woman's a 9.5.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad, like a 2. It keeps going. I rated it a 4, and then I think I've only seen it once. I think
It
it's
just
down to a
doesn't.
2.
To me, Suicide Squad was a fun movie. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't come into play. It just means nothing. It accomplished nothing.
Talk about small stakes. That's the thing. Like, people said
Yes.
Spider-Man had small stakes. No, this was just dumb. I still say if they would have done it, that they could have made that movie good if they just did Deadshot's the bad guy. And they have a actual human that they're fighting with his army, and he is like the smartest. He's as smart as Batman, if not smarter. He's going to be 2 steps ahead of you the whole way. That would have been an interesting movie to make. Still have the same cast. I love the cast.
Yeah.
I just did not like the movie at all.
Yeah.
Would you rather? Now, I don't even know if you know this because this is super memey, but would you rather hold X to pay respects? Do you remember this in Call of Duty? You had to hold X to pay respects. You'd go to a coffin, and like to progress the story, you'd have to go up there and hold, I think on PC, I think normally it's hold E to pay respects. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have to go and you have to pay respect to you gotta
like fill up a bar or something.
You just have to hold and then you move on to the next coffin. Or not have a button for petting dogs in games. I will say, there's a lot of cute dogs in Breath of the Wild, and you cannot pet them.
But you can
get. I never even got them to eat my meat. They wouldn't eat my meat.
But there's something you could do. Supposedly
they get a heart above their head if you give them meat, but they don't. But you still can't pet them.
Oh, see, I don't even know it was that. I thought you had to pet that. I thought you had to do something to get their affection, and then they would like go and like find hidden treasure for you or something. I never once had this happen.
No, I think it's just. I think they just like. Yeah, I got a heart. I like you. I would rather hold X to pay respects because I think you should. If
depends
there
on
are dogs,
how annoying and long this part of this game is. But,
it's probably.
But yeah, don't put
minutes,
a dog in a
like,
video game that you can't pet.
You can pet dogs in Grand Theft Auto 5, right? When you see the dogs, you can pet them.
Yeah, I think so.
You can pet them. You can pet Dee Dee. You're like, hey, that's a good boy. You can pet the horse, I think. Can you pet the horse? You can't pet the horse, but you can pet Dee Dee.
Good dog.
Good dog. Go slash that guy's throat and big boss shoot down your neck. Whoops. Would you rather, there's only 2 more. Would you rather eat a Nintendo Switch cartridge or stand in line to pre-order an SNES Classic? Well, first you wouldn't stand in, I'm going to change it. Stand in line to try and get an SNES Classic on launch day. I would stand in line to get an SNES Classic. I'm not eating that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat
tasting cartridge.
To me, it didn't taste that bad, but I also just don't want to swallow plastic and metal.
No.
But the taste was fine. If it was put the cartridge in your mouth for 30 seconds, I'd rather do that. But I don't want to chew it up and swallow it. But to me, it didn't taste that bad.
I would much rather just wait in line to get a system.
Yeah. I'm not eating it.
And the last one. Oh, damn it. Wario. Would you rather...
You still have those on?
Yeah, because I'm like, maybe I'll still pre-order one. Would you rather... We'll get to that later in a couple, probably like 2 seconds after this is done. Would you rather never play a video game ever again for the rest of your life?
The other one.
Okay. Play video games nonstop until you die.
Oh, that one. There are so many games that I want to play that I just know I'll never have time to.
But what does that mean? That can't mean you don't get to sleep or anything.
Yeah, I guess that means you would still sleep. Assuming I could still eat and I could still sleep and my financial problems were not what they would be if I literally played video games all day and didn't have a job. In a perfect world, I'd rather just play video games all the time. In the actual world where you need to make money, unless I win the lottery, then that would change my answer. Then yeah.
Right.
I mean, I got to live. But I would love to be able to just play video games. I mean, some people do. I mean, they don't literally play video games for a living, but
their job is video games.
When I was growing up, before I think at one point I said maybe a teacher at one point, and then I don't know what I changed. But people would ask like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?"
Paleontologist.
My job, anytime, like the best I could come up with for an answer to that was, I want to be a video game tester. Which probably doesn't even. But in my mind,
exists.
well, I know, but in my mind, it was just somebody who plays video games.
But really,
this is cool.
But really, the people
not like
that do
debugging
that,
it.
But it's the people that make the games play it to make sure it doesn't break and stuff. So you'd also have to know how to code and like.
Right, you can't literally just play a game and say,
hey guys,
this is fun.
I've never played video games. You want me to try and break it? Okay.
Right.
Or you want to get the news of the week?
Yeah, let's do it.
There's not much here. The Switch had a firmware update of 3.01. There's only 2 notes for it. It's really 1 note with a bullet point. General system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience, which is what it always says, including addressing an issue in which the remaining battery charge can't be displayed accurately. This is like a big issue. I have not noticed on mine because I usually, if I play it on the TV. What?
I have a funny story. So I went to turn on my Switch to go play, or to download Setsuna. And
I didn't download Just Cause yet.
And
It's free. Check it out. PS Plus.
it wouldn't, unless I was doing something wrong, maybe this is related, but it wouldn't show up on the TV. So I take it off and I turn it on. Okay, it turns on and the buttons work and okay. But the battery was like 24%. I'm like, I haven't taken this thing off the dock.
Yeah,
like,
do you have this issue?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what is going on?
Oh,
So
your dock
I
wasn't plugged in.
So I turn it down, open up the back. I'm like, okay, the power is plugged in, the HDMI is plugged in. Okay, boom, put it back up, take it out, put it back in. I'm like waiting for it to show up. It won't show up. My HDMI switch won't even register that there's like a signal coming to it. What's going on? I open it up again. It was either that time or maybe a third time that I finally realized. I don't know when I did this, but I must have been drunk. I took the USB charger thing and had it into like...
The HDMI?
No, I think it's like a full USB or something. There's like the HDMI,
Okay.
and then there's something, and then there's the USB thing. Like, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was like a full, like an old style HD, like USB port. And I just kind of stuck it in there.
Oh, instead of USB.
It was just kind of flat. It wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, well, that explains why this thing was not charged. Then once I plugged it in the right thing, everything worked fine. But I was probably drunk. It was just,
it won't work. Stupid system.
Oh gosh.
So, even though this fix was supposed to fix, because that's what a fix is, it's supposed to fix the battery issue. For some people, it didn't. So you know what Nintendo wants you to do? Don't turn your page, because I'm going to tell you. No,
okay.
This is worse than sending it in. While today's update is aimed at resolving the issue, Nintendo notes on its support website, I think this came from GameStop, that it may not fix the problem immediately for all users. In the event that the battery charge indicator still displays incorrectly following the update, Nintendo has outlined a way to manually resolve the issue. Though it's a rather time-consuming and convoluted process, it involves charging the console fully, letting it sit for an hour, then draining the battery until it's about to die, and repeating the entire process 6 times. Charge it, sit for an hour, run the battery down to almost dead, charge it, let it sit for an hour, do that 6 times.
This goes back to what you were asking about. Would you rather play video games your entire... I mean, this is basically what this is.
Holy crap, like...
That's... God, Nintendo.
But what I think it means, I think it's like the battery on this. Like mine will go from 80 to 1%.
Right,
it's not really
yeah.
It's not really 1%, but the phone thinks it is, so the phone's going to shut off when it gets to 0. Your Switch isn't really at 23%, but it thinks it is. So when you get to 0, it's at 0. The system just gets confused and shuts down. Well, yours probably was. But come on, Nintendo. This is ridiculous. Dragon Quest XI. It's out in Japan. It is coming to the West in 2018. This game looks so pretty, and I would love to play this game, but it's still turn-based.
Mm-hmm.
It's not active battle. If it was active battle, I'd be all over this game. I love it. I don't love it. I love the way it looks. It's just very pretty. I want more action RPGs to play, which is probably why I'm playing Minish Cap now. This game was out in the first 2 days in Japan. Dragon Quest is huge over there. 2 million copies in 2 days across 3DS and PS4. The 3DS version sold more than the PS4. About 100,000 more. It was like 1.1 million and 1 million or something.
Wow.
2 million copies sold. That's all there is. If you like Dragon Quest, please be excited. It's coming next year.
I've only played one of them. It was on PS2. I can't remember if it was 7 or 8. I think it was 8. Journey of the Cursed King.
I feel like there's been 100 games named that.
And it was, all I remember, I don't think I ever beat it. It was fun. It was like that cell shaded. I don't know if that's how the new one is too, but it was like that cell shaded. It was interesting looking.
Yeah.
I assume
not like Wind Waker.
No.
It's like it's a different version of cell shading is what I would say. Yeah.
I don't know. It was fun. I remember liking it. The story never hooked me, and I don't think I ever beat it, but it was just fun. It was a pretty basic RPG. There's nothing for better or for worse that like really stood out about it to me.
Yeah.
But I think it came with a demo for Final Fantasy 12.
Oh.
And that's not why I bought it, but I think I got it for my birthday or Christmas or something. But I was like, I think I knew that it came with a disc, and I was almost more looking forward to the Final Fantasy demo than I was actually playing the game. But the game actually turned out pretty fun. But I don't know anything about Dragon Quest other than that one game.
I forgot to say this earlier. I fired up Terranigma, but I was just too tired. And I was like, I'm walking around this house. I can't get out of this house. I got to talk to the elders. I'm just going to go to bed. That game was made by Enix.
Yeah, before.
I've never seen that. It said that, I'm like,
wait.
whoa.
No,
I also forgot that Square was Squaresoft. They went Squaresoft to Square Enix, I think, right? Or was it Square to Squaresoft to Square Enix? I think it was Squaresoft.
I think
Square.
Yeah.
Square Enix, because I feel like Squaresoft was like Mario RPG. Final
Chrono
Fantasy
Trigger.
VII was Square, and then they got Square Enix.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
No, I think you'll definitely like that game.
It's more Zelda than.
Honestly, it's more Zelda, but
he can jump. I found that out.
It's almost more. Okay, here we go. It is what we probably would have hoped, or what it should have been, Beyond Oasis.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think there are like combos. Like it's not just hiya, 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 hiya. I think you can do maybe even like in Beyond Oasis where you do like forward, back, forward attack, and he does like the flip. Yeah. There's something similar, I think. So it's Zelda, but with a hint of like Beyond Oasis to it, I think.
I like it.
But yeah, it's awesome.
I can just get rid of my PlayStation 4. All right. SNES Classic pre-orders. Walmart sucks. You know who doesn't?
Who? It's the... Oh.
What? No. Every other retailer, including Walmart. SNES Classic pre-orders are coming. This comes from the Nintendo Facebook website. I was trying to say something. I couldn't think of it. We appreciate the incredible anticipation that exists for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super NES Classic Edition. That is so stupid.
The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo
Get rid of everything
System,
before the colon. Just call it
Classic
Super
Edition.
NES Classic Edition. And can confirm that it will be made available for pre-order by various retailers late this month. They have not set a date. This also comes from Nintendo. A significant amount of additional systems will be shipped to stores for launch day and throughout the balance of the calendar year. That right there is like, maybe I don't want to try and I'm not... If I'm going to go through what I did with the Switch and trying to get one of these and sell it and make $2, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't even bother, personally.
The good thing is the pre-orders are coming. What I would say, just go through Amazon or Best Buy. Don't mess with Target. Don't mess with Walmart. And what you really need to do, if you want an SNES Classic and you don't want to go get in line at GameStop at 2 in the morning on September 29th, go to twitter.com/Wario64. Hit the little bell button and say, turn on notifications. He tweets a lot. You might also be like, oh, damn, I need an SD card. This one's super cheap. Thanks, Wario. But if you want to know when these actually go live, because Lord only knows how long they're going to stay up, if you want to get one and you want to pre-order it, sign up for notifications for Wario64. Thank me later. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 is coming to the Switch later this year. That's cool, because remember Capcom had said, hey, 450,000 people for some reason bought Ultra Street Fighter 2. I'm one of them. I'm not saying that because I don't like the game. I love that game. Right now, I think it's number 5 this year for me. I think it's going to get bumped out with 2 of the games coming out the next 3 weeks. I think it'll get bumped out of the top 5.
What are your top 5? In any order?
Zelda, Horizon, Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and that's really it right now. I don't think there's another...
So it's in your top 5, but not number 5.
It would be, I guess right now it's number 4. It's behind Resident Evil and then the 2 big guns.
God, this has been a great year.
Because you got Sonic Mania. Everything I've seen, this game is going to be amazing. I still haven't heard anything back on that. I'm going to send another email.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Metroid Samus Returns, Mario Odyssey, and then all the stupid shooters. Maybe Battlefront. We're going to get Battlefront.
This
2,
year
'cause no
may
one wants
be
it.
better than last year, which I didn't think could happen.
I think it's better than last year, but I don't think it'll be better than 15. Well, but see, 15. I need to go back and look. 15 was just so high for me because of Metal Gear Solid 5. And I'd waited for that game for 3 years. I've been waiting for
Right.
that game ever since. I mean, for longer than that, but since it got announced, 3 years. This year, if you go back, I mean, 2 of my 5 favorite games of all time came out within a week of each other this year.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, are you serious?
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 gets, like somebody was saying, I heard somebody on a podcast a couple weeks ago, they said their game of the year would be the first 2/3 of Resident Evil 7. Like,
Oh,
I like that. I like that a lot. If the rest of the game played out just like that,
I would say Resident Evil 7, again, maybe the first 2/3 of the game, is more unlike anything that has ever come before it than Breath of the Wild and Horizon were. Breath of the Wild and Horizon definitely
open world
better
action
games,
RPGs. Yeah.
but it's been done before. These basically perfected it more or less.
Yes.
But Resident Evil to me is
I've never experienced
unlike
anything
anything
like that.
I've ever played before.
And I love, even now, if I were to go back and play through it, it's been 6 months since I beat it, whatever it's been. 7 months maybe. I don't know. No, 6 months. Like, I will remember the big things, especially in that opening hour, because it is so traumatic when she shows up and everything that happens from then on. But I'm still going to be like, oh my God, all the hairs are going to be standing up in my arm. Like, okay, when did she pop out? When did she pop out? So, that game's amazing. So, yeah, right now, Street Fighter's in my top 5. It'll end up getting bumped out. I'm almost positive. But can you think of any other games? I mean, it's just been so... And I haven't even played. Everybody loves Nier Automata. They love Nioh. I'm not into that because I'm not into the Soul-style games. What else was there? Was one other one. Did Inside come out this year?
Persona.
Oh, Persona. That's the one. I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole, but Persona. Yeah, this has been a crazy year. This has been a friggin' bat crap crazy year.
Yep.
And finally, just a quick item here. The PlayStation has now sold over 63 million units, 63.3 million. This thing, it all depends on when the PS5 happens. Because, what's his name? Sean Layden has said the PS5 it is going to be a thing. I feel like it's going to be more like a 2020 thing. Instead of like a 20... It definitely won't be 2018.
No, I think it's 2019.
Maybe 2019, but 2019 or 2020. But when you think about it, like... I won't be mad at that point. Like, I've already gotten 3.5 years out of this thing, and I adore it.
Yeah.
And I've had so many good gaming experiences on it. Like, I just wonder, though, what are they going to do? Like, no, nothing excites me. And it's not because I'm a Sony fanboy. Nothing excites me about the One X. It's just like
the fact
better
that,
graphics.
Here's my issue.
Okay. Lay it on me, brother.
I feel like we are reaching... What would I call
critical mass?
The point... what am I trying to say?
Past the point of no return.
It's almost like the law of diminishing returns. PlayStation 4 is beautiful.
Oh, breaking news. Dragon Quest Builders 2 just got announced.
Oh, interesting. PlayStation 4 is beautiful.
Not coming to Vita, so Wario tweeted RIP Vita.
But just the fact, unless PS5 bucks the trend, just the fact that you can release the same game, regardless of how they look, the same game on PS4 and PS3 speaks volumes.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Think of a
Destiny.
game. You would never release a game on PS3 and PS2.
You couldn't do Metal Gear
You
Solid
couldn't do
5 on the
PS2 and
right.
PS1. Like,
Right.
we're to the point now where it's like, yeah, here's the same game on both. I mean,
It's
WWE
just
is
a
still
little
doing it.
prettier.
Isn't 2K18?
This is the year they finally stopped.
Okay.
It took them 4 years.
But, like, the fact that they're still releasing the same game on this generation and last generation, and it looks better on this generation,
Yeah, of
but
course.
more or less
But, like,
it's the same game.
Yeah.
It's not like when Street Fighter 2 came out on the NES and the SNES. Like, not even the same game.
Right.
It's like, what is PS5 going to be? I feel like we're
Well,
doing
look at-
we're doing
Or
we're
Turtles
doing
in Time.
this. We're leveling off.
Turtles in Time versus Turtles
is going
3.
to be. Yeah.
Not even close.
Right. PS5, unless somehow everything changes, PS5 is going to be less of a step up over PS4 than PS4 was over PS3.
I agree. I just want them. They'll have more horsepower and all this other stuff, and everything will be 4K, 60 frames per second. I would hope. If it's not, then what the hell are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
But something looks weird here. I don't know. If it's not though, like GTA 6, let me go in every friggin' or almost every friggin' building.
Right. It just needs more power. It may be a huge leap, but it's not going to be a huge leap in terms of graphics.
You know what I would love? If I never see a loading screen again.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you hide them, that's fine. Like I saw this one tech demo of Horizon Zero Dawn, and it like as you turn the camera, it unloads everything where you're not looking, and it's and people were crapping on that like, this is dumb, everybody knows this. I'm like, no, I didn't know this. This is fast. This is so cool.
Right. You think it all just exists at all times.
Like, no, we delete this and add this.
That is one thing.
Breath of the Wild. Those loading screens suck. Every time you go in, I don't even want to go into shrines anymore because it's like, okay, I got to hit A, load,
skip the
go down,
scene.
hit A again, Valrata, skip it. Then you get it and you go out, loading. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that's one thing. I mean, talk about pet peeves. Loading screens in general.
Yep.
But saving a game. There is no reason, and I know I'm spoiled. My biggest complaint about Final Fantasy XII so far is how long it takes to save. Now, granted, Final Fantasy XII on PS4 basically auto-saves every time you load a new screen, so it's not as big of a deal as it was on PS2. But it was a similar situation on PS2 where like you save, or you can save anytime you see a crystal. And I'm like, I should save because who knows what's coming up next. But then I got to hit X to go to the crystal. Do you want to save?
Yes,
Save.
obviously I said
loading.
Save. Do you want to replace
or
override?
Do you want to do a new save or this one? I want to do that one. Okay. Bleep. Are you sure? Yes.
Damn
okay.
it.
Saving. Your thing has been saved. Okay. And then circle to go back. Circle to go back. And all of a sudden I'm back at the main game and I can play again. And granted, that whole thing is probably 10 seconds. Yeah. But it just disrupts the flow of the game so much that I'm like, I'd rather risk it. I kind of just want to keep playing. If I die, I die. Like, I just can't. Versus Setsuna, I've only seen one save thing so far, but it's literally like X. Do you want to save? X. Saved. And then you're walking around again. You don't need to exit a met. Like, it's just.
I think I saw for Breath of the Wild, I think for every shrine going in and getting out, I think it was 1 minute and 20 seconds of loading. Between
I believe
the going down loading.
Final Fantasy 15 was one of the worst.
Really?
When you do like a fast travel thing to like a new location, I felt like I would be like, when I would wake up in the morning before Brittany got up and I'd start playing and then I'd fast travel somewhere, I'd be like, I could literally go over to my Keurig and make a cup of coffee and come back and it wouldn't be loaded yet. But I know we're all spoiled brats, but come on. This is a PS2 game on a PS4. It should not be this long to save a game. I don't get it.
If you're a developer and you know why it takes so long, please let us know.
Please.
Thank you for listening. Well, that's the end of the podcast. No, it's not! What time is it, Sean?
10:22.
But it's also the time when we play the
It's the back of the box
challenge. If you didn't know, the back box challenge is how we end the podcast here every week on the Two Player Co-op podcast. What this game is we take a previously released retail version of a game, because that's the only way you can have a box. We flip it around. We look at the back of the box per the name of the game. We then read the description aloud to the other player, bleep out any pertinent information that would give the game away or make it way too obvious. Then the other player gets to ask some follow-up questions that are yes or no to see if they can guess the game. That's the back. I do it every time. I don't know
the
why.
back of the box.
That's
challenge.
the back of the box challenge, and that's what we're going to do right now. You got your thing. Go.
I'll go first.
Did you figure it out? Which
I'm going to do the easier one, and if you happen to get it,
don't say
very
Marion.
quickly, I'll switch it. But
I can't snap with my left hand. Oh, that was all right.
All right. Blank's crusade to rule the world
Indiana Jones.
ends abruptly at the hands of Blank. So what's Blank to do? Create a diversion and break out of prison. Blank has his hands full as... Excuse me. Has his hands full as 4 gigantic blanks exit Blank's lab to ravage the city. But who's behind this new plot as Blank sits behind bars? Blank knew his diabolical deeds would end in failure one day. So as his Blank's attack by Blank, the sinister Blank breaks out of prison and flies off in his Blank.
You had to blank out the name of the ship?
I mean, I guess it's a spaceship. I guess I could just say spaceship. Flies off in his spaceship. The Blank is tricked. I don't even know what that means. With the help of Blank, and Blank, can Blank put the slippery Blank back in prison where he belongs? The future of the world hangs on Blank's every move. Go get him, Blank.
This is easy? Is it
thought-
16-bit?
Yes.
Is it a console exclusive?
Yeah, I think so.
Genesis?
No.
Okay. TurboGrafx 16?
Yes. No.
Wait, okay.
No.
It's like, oh my god. That would be the first
It's
time.
Bonk.
Bonkette, and Bonkma. I don't know what the hell this game is. You're in space. Somebody got out. You think it's easy. Okay. Is it a Konami game?
Nope.
Capcom?
Yep.
Oh. Wow. Is this a licensed game? How the turns have tabled. Or what did Michael Scott say?
How the turntables...
Turn.
No.
Not licensed. Okay. Is this part of a series?
Yes.
Do you play as a human?
No.
Do you play as a human robot?
Yes.
Okay. Is this part of the X series?
No.
Is this the 7th in the series?
Yes.
This didn't
See, I
sound
figured-
like Mega Man at all, though.
No, I mean, it's... Dr. Wily's crusade to rule the world ends abruptly at the hands of Mega Man, so what's a villain to do? Create a diversion and break out of prison. Mega Man has his hands full as 4 gigantic machines, exit Dr. Wily's lab to ravage the city.
There's only 4 Robot Masters?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Wily knew his diabolical deeds would end in failure. Oh, he flies off in his spaceship. The Titanium Titan is tricked. I don't even know what that means. Like tricked out? Like that's the name of his spaceship, the Titanium Titan?
He's not saying, is Mega Man the Titanium Titan?
I have no idea. The
And he tricked
Titanium
him?
Titan is tricked. With the help of Rush, Roll, and Dr. Light, can Mega Man put the slippery Dr. Wily back in prison where he belongs? Blah, blah, blah. Go get him, Mega Man. All right. You got it pretty easy, but you didn't get it right off the bat, so I'm not going to do my...
I'll allow it.
I'll save my other one for next week.
I'm going to save my other one.
But
for
you're not
next
going to
week,
like
too.
it.
It's hard?
You're not going to like it.
Well, good. Then I'm going to save mine for next week, too.
Okay.
But you'll get it just because. All right. Ready?
Yes.
When blank becomes soul-chilling nightmare, you're the key as you fight for blank's sanity. Thought? I'll read it as it stands. I don't think it makes sense, though. Thought, artificial life, comma, superfluid views, comma. It's just that first 3 words. Thought, artificial life. It must mean through. It must mean through. I'm going to change it to through. Through artificial life, and the A is capitalized. I don't know why. Superfluid views, real-time blank, free character movement, and supersonic speed were impossible. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a question. Let me try this again.
Oh.
Thought is correct.
Okay.
Thought, artificial life. I still don't know why the A is capitalized. Superfluid views, real-time blank, free character movement, and supersonic speed were impossible? Get real. Anything's possible in a blank.
In a blank?
In a blank.
Is it a 16-bit game?
No.
Newer?
Yes.
32-bit?
Yes.
Saturn?
Yes.
Is it a Sonic game?
No.
No. You're talking about like super human or super fast speed or something.
Right.
It sounded like Sonic. Okay, but it's Saturn. I looked into that one.
You know what's weird? There were no
traditional Sonic.
like Sonic Adventure
Sonic
was
Spinball.
Dreamcast.
I think not Sonic.
No,
Spinball.
Sonic 3D
3D
Blast,
is
yeah.
yeah, that's.
But that came out in Genesis and Game Gear.
Well, yeah.
I mean, bastardized versions, but yeah.
Okay. Thought. Is it Nights into Dreams or something? I don't know anything about that game. I just know that it's like that and Panzer Dragoon are like Sega Saturn, but I don't know anything about that game.
When dreams become soul-chilling nightmare, you're the key as you fight for Nighttopia's sanity. Thought artificial life, superfluid views, real-time 3D, free character movement, and supersonic speed were impossible. Get real, anything's possible in a dream.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's a game that, for us being
I don't even
Saturn
know what
kids,
kind of game. Is it just like a platformer, more or less?
It's a platformer where you fly. It's a 3D platformer where there's not really platforming. You fly. And that was the first game that came with the analog stick for Saturn, that huge controller that had the analog stick. We never had it because I think...
Oh, yeah. God. Yeah, Saturn didn't have analog yet. I mean, nothing. Yeah, that was prior to...
I mean, the first DualShock controller didn't have it either.
Right.
They got them when Metal Gear Solid 8.
Metal Gear Solid 8.
When Metal Gear Solid came out in 98. That's what I meant to say. You know what part of Sega made this game? Sonic Team. I didn't know that until I was looking at the back of the box.
Oh. Interesting.
Jinx. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode 85 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you didn't know, now you know that we are part of the Nerd 901 family. Go to nerd901.com for all things nerdy in Memphis and around the globe. Also, while you're there, check out Pixels and Papers. Check out Ernie and Derek and see what they're doing along with... Whoa, you okay over there?
I'm good.
Everything else going on at Nerd 901. Lots of good things over there. Of course, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Kevin White 24. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we are at 2player_co-op. Again, you're probably watching this at youtube.com/2playercoop. If you're not, you should go there and you should hit the subscribe button if you liked it. And if you like it, you should hit that like button. Share the video with your friends. We're trying to grow from here on. We're over 430 subs now. That's huge to us. Thank you guys so much. It's amazing. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for subbing. If you like audio, and I know Sean does, you can download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and other audio services all around the globe. We also have a Facebook page that we never update. Facebook.com/2playercoop gaming. But you can go there and you can see everything that the guys at Nerd 901 tag us in, because they actually do their job when it comes to Facebook. We
and our job
do not. That has been episode 85. Thank y'all so much for being here. My nose is itching.
It's all that cocaine.
A cocaina.
Cocaina.
That's what I meant to say. Until episode 86, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing. I'll get it. I'm going to get it one of these days.
You won't. It's a lot harder than throwing the thing into the thing.
Yeah, probably.
That's what she said.
Bye, guys.
Snap!